Hello faithful watchers of my videos. Well, today's a different direction. We're not filming old cars today, but just trying to answer some questions that have been asked by a few of the folks who do watch my movies. And it has to do with some of the footwear they see me wearing sometimes, namely these shoes that they say, what are they, rather than what are they? Well, they're what's called a minimalist sort of shoe. It's called a Terra Plana, and it's a series called Vivo Barefoot by the same company. It's all part of this thing that they've had lately with, well, for years and years, companies were just making shoes with a lot more and more and more padding on the heels and on the soles in an effort to try to get the foot away from the pavement and thus the shocks that they thought the foot was getting. And that was sort of leading to a lot more injuries over the long run. So all of a sudden you've heard names like Nike Free or the New Balance Minimus, and there's all sorts of others that are on the Minimus shoe thing. But anyway, these are a very, very thin and flexible soled shoe. There's no lining inside of them. It's what you see is what you get pretty much. It's maybe 2.5–3 millimeters thick, and that's it. And they're extremely comfortable, and they're well ventilated. Your feet never ever feel sweaty in them, it seems, and they never ever give you a problem with any sort of funky smells, it would seem. Well, at least on my feet, they don't sweat too bad, thank goodness. But anyway, they have an extremely flexible sole on them, and they give you a very, very good range of flexibility, stepping right over a curb, for example, or something like that to that effect. And seriously, the feel is that of barefoot running. Now, this company, Terra Plana, has been around for a number of years, making some fairly high-end shoes, and I guess they just decided to, with the discovery or whatever, and in the early 2000s, about just making a sort of minimalist shoe, like going back to the roots, so to speak, and everything. But as far as running goes, they allow your foot to have a very proper ball heel, ball sort of strike, which I'll show you over here right now. That really helps with the way your foot feels on the ground, and personally I like them very, very much. And the thing is, like, with a pair of black laces, they're very unobtrusive, and you can wear them to the office or to other sorts of gatherings where you really can't wear some of the more sport-intended sort of shoes. But I mean, these perfectly blend in with the surrounding casual wear, and this will show you the sort of strike that I was talking about. It's the way the foot naturally lands, and hopefully the camera will pick this up. I did this I just ran over a piece of paper a while ago just to try to get a proper footprint or something like that, and you can see where your foot will always land on the outside of the ball on the edge, then it rolls towards the entire ball, the toes, and it just lightly touches down on the heel, then it takes off again. So what happens? It lands on the outer edge, ball, toes, lightly on the rest of the foot, and then up again. But really, the shoes are quite comfortable, and you do have to get used to wearing them. If you've been wearing thick-soled shoes for the good part of your life and everything, it will take some use to getting to this sort of thing. But in all honesty, you can really feel everything that you're walking on and stuff, and they do really conform to any surface. Like you can see, like on this pine cone over, you just go like, and they'll just really, your foot will just form all the way around them, and it just gives you a very, very nice grip, especially on rocky paths or really bumpy surfaces. But I find them to be a very decent shoe, and I do like them. And you can find them on special sometimes for about $100, something like that, but they will last. I've had these for almost 3 years, and they're still holding out. They're just starting to show just a little bitty bit of wear, and of course you can see the pattern just on the very ball of the foot right over here, and that's just it. But otherwise they wear extremely well, and I would highly recommend them. And like I said, they're very unobtrusive, and they blend in quite well. They're not garish or anything like that. The Vibram 5 Fingers are probably the most ultimate in the barefoot running shoe, but you really can't wear those to the office or anything like that. So these are a very, very decent compromise by Terra Plana. Anyway, have yourself a wonderful day, people, and I would really give these shoes a high recommendation. Bye-bye.